It's just about moving with ease. So really having that in mind. So making sure that we know when we're doing like Qigong flow, we have that idea of flowing and moving with ease. We want the idea of then bringing that into some other exercises, maybe a lunge and things like that. So we'll just play around with that today. We are hopefully live on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, and also on Zoom. So let's get going. We're going to start off just by finding space. So you've got space around you. And I've lost my glasses. Where's my glasses? Doesn't matter. I do have my glasses. I can see there. Take your feet shoulder width apart. The lane's over there. You can come down here if you want to come down here. You've got space there. Take your feet shoulder width apart. Just standing tall. And we're just going to start with a little bit of knocking. So just very gently. Nothing forced, nothing strained, nothing pushed. Connecting into the ground through the feet. Just bringing awareness to the feet connected to the ground. Notice the movement through the ankles. And then up into the knees, soft knees. Up into the hips. And then just working your way up the spine, lengthening up the spine, working from the tailbone. Having that idea of just tall spine, long spine. Let the shoulders hang, so shoulders relaxed. In between the shoulder blades relaxed. Head just balancing on top of the spine. And then face relax, relaxing into the brow, softening into the brow. Softening into the eyes, sockets. Softening into the jaw, cheekbones. So jaws relaxed, a little bit of space between those back teeth, but lips just very lightly together. And if it feels comfortable, the tongue just resting, tongue position, tip of the tongue resting on the roof of the mouth. And now just gradually slowing it down. A little bit of contrast into water waves. Still feeling that softness in the ankles, knees, hips. Lengthening through the spine. And then just really focus on the spiral through the arms. So you've got that rotation of the shoulders, elbows, wrists, fingers soft. And then just come to rest. Bring your feet hip width. Just standing for a moment, seeing how that feels in the body. If you need to move a little bit, if you feel you need to shake anything, then have a little shake, have a little bit of a move. Then just standing tall. And then just stepping out. Again, we're going to go a little bit wider this time. So we were shoulder width apart this time. We're going to go a little bit wider. So maybe shoulder and a half, a slight turn out in the feet, not too much. And we're just going to start moving. So you bend, if I'm mirroring you, you're bending this right knee and you're taking that right hip back slightly so that pelvis stays in line. And then you're just shifting the weight over to the other side. So we're just getting very gentle shift side to side, but I'm not tilting side to side with the upper body. I'm literally, that upper body stays balanced on top of the pelvis shifts side to side. So we're just getting that little bit more work through the hips, the inside thigh. And then once you've got comfortable with this, we're just going to knocking again. So as you go one way, the other way. So it's like you're pushing the ground away. Again, keep it easy, no force. Start to feel it working the hips, the glutes. As always, if you have any pain, anything hurts, you stop. It's not about forcing through pain. Breathing easy. And then slowing it down. And slowly walking feet back in. You might want to give your legs a little bit of a shake. We're going to do one more version of the knocking. This time we're going to come back to that shoulder width apart, maybe a little bit wider. Again, find what feels nice and stable in terms of your base support. As we shift, I'll do it slowly to show you first. As we are going to shift to one side, so I'm going to shift to this side. You're just going to raise the opposite heel off the ground. So we're just getting a little bit of a weight shift. And then this heel is, you're getting almost like it's imagining you're stubbing something into the ground with that opposite leg. So we're just doing weight shift. And if you feel you need to go a little bit wider, I feel I just need to make that a little bit wider, then just go a little bit wider. Feel stable and supported on the base. Who knew you could do so many versions of knocking on the door of life? And then slowing down. And bringing your feet back into standing position, hip width. Just stand for a moment, tall through the spine. And then step out. Do some tigers. So tiger squats. Remember, so with the squat, we're taking the hips back. We're lowering down, we're keeping the chest lifted. What's nice with the tiger squat is when you do that, you've got the claws, tiger claws there. You feel that engagement of the back of the body, all down the back, and you keep that chest lifted, just going to a comfortable depth. And then soft here, so standing tall, using the ground to push away. Stand tall. Again, breathing easy. You don't necessarily have to breathe with the movement, just gentle breaths in and out through the nose. Always in control of the movement. You could stop at any point in this movement, and you could stop at the bottom, and then you could slowly come up. So just play around with where you could maybe stop, where you could maybe rotate a little bit, but you're in control all the way through that movement. You're not forcing anything. You're not having to push yourself up off the ground or jump up off the ground. You can very easily, slowly come up to standing. Maybe you can challenge yourself a little bit by going a little bit deeper, going to your edge, but not to the point where you have to struggle to get back up. But you can still very comfortably use the strength of the legs to come back up. And remember, if you start to unintentionally hold the breath, then you've most probably pushed it a little bit too hard. If you can breathe smoothly, if you can move smoothly, everything is good. Christine's getting warm, top's coming off. Let's do a couple more. You most probably will be feeling it a little bit in the legs, which is good, as long as it's not painful. And then come up to standing. Have a little bit of a shake out of the leg. Shoulder width apart. Now we're going into a 16th of a squat. So you're just sitting back ever so slightly, bending the knees, hips back, spinal cord breathing. So we're opening up the chest, breathing in, looking up, lifting the heart towards the sky. And then you're tucking the tailbone underneath, breathing out. Breathing in. It's like a morning wake up. Over the past few weeks, I've been having a 6:30 session with a group in Japan, Australia, New Zealand. And I forgot to change my alarm this morning, and the alarm went off at 6. I was going, no, I'm really tired. And then I was like, I don't have to get up till 7. So I had a little stretch like this, went back to bed. And you can breathe with the movement, breathing in, expanding. Breathing out, contracting. Do a couple more. And then take a rest, come up to standing. Let me just put my clock on the screen so I can see what time it is. Let's go back to the squat. So taking your feet, again, comfortable, nice, stable base, about shoulder width apart, slight turnout. This time, as we're lowering, so you're taking your hips back and you're sitting back, and we were doing the tiger, we were coming down with the upper body as well. This time, as you're lowering, we're going to do like almost like an open of the flow. So as you lower, the arms float up. And then as you stand up, the arms float down. So it's very much like we've done in Qigong, where we've just done open flow with the arms just floating up and down, but we're just adding that little bit of extra movement in. So down, and just notice the dynamics of it, how different it is to the tiger squat. But again, it's smooth, rhythmical. Who's feeling it in their legs? Do one more. And take a rest. Have a little bit of a shakeout. Let's do, it's sort of like a combination of Qigong and a yoga position type movement now. So if I mirror you, I think I'm mirroring you, you're going to step out a little bit towards your right, and then you're going to turn your left foot to face the side there and just step forwards with the left foot. I want you to lower down so that the knee is over the ankle. We don't want to go any lower than that. We don't want to go too far forward. If you need a bit more space, just take that right foot back. That right foot is turned in about 45 degrees, and you've got a little bit of space between the ankle. Now remember what I said at the very beginning of this session, it's not about pushing and forcing. So you find the comfortable position here. I don't want you to get in a position where you're like, really struggling with this, but I want you to make sure that that foot is pointing in that direction, that foot is pointing sort of like 45 degrees in that direction, and you're comfortable, and that you can lower down here, drop the hips down a little bit, and your knee is over the ankle, it's not coming in or coming out. So in this position here, just bring your arms out. So you've got one arm pointing that way, one arm pointing that way. You're going to look over the arm pointing that way. Make sure the shoulders are down. And then you're going to push with this front leg and bring you back up to standing. And as you do that, you're just going to rotate to the front, bring your palms together. And then you're going to lower. And as you lower, you just float the arms out and look. Make sure there's no imbalance here, so that back arm stays straight there, front arm stays straight, shoulders down. And then you're going to push again on that front leg. Bring yourself up to center, rotate to forwards. Now let's turn that into a flow. So just very gently flowing out and then pushing and coming back to center. Again, really take this easy. I don't want any pain, any strain. Flowing out and back to center. Now watch that when you're flowing out, you're not reaching forwards like that, because that's classic. I tend to do that. So all you're doing is lowering your hips, and that upper body sits on top, flowing out, back to center. You get nice little rotation. Then you can stretch the fingers, stretch the arms out. Then with flowing movement. Breathing easy. Feel that softness in the shoulders and the elbows and the wrists as you flow out, just like floating out. Then you can put that nice strength through the arms, and then softness as you come back in. Let's do a couple more. And then come back to center. When we're at center here, have the legs facing forward, slight turn out. Let's just do a few hearts to sky. So just breathing in and breathing out, almost like a little bow there, opening up the chest, breathing in, breathing out. Let's do one more heart to sky. And then swap sides. So you turn that foot out, turn this foot in about 45 degrees. Again, find your comfortable balance point there. We want the knee over the ankle, so you've still got space to lower and lift and lower and lift. And then when you're in that comfortable place, lower, arms out. Oh, my shoulder clicked. Arms out there, shoulders down. And then pushing this leg into the ground, coming up to center, rotating, so you're getting that nice rotation through the spine there, facing forwards. Keep the chest facing, almost like facing forwards, but as you reach out and lower. And just nice and steady. So just keep that movement going. I'm just going to adjust myself slightly, just because I was just thinking if on Instagram you can't see where my front foot and my back foot are. So keep going with that movement. If I'll just come back a little bit, hopefully you can see there, that front leg, the knee is over the ankle as I'm going down there. And then I'm pushing and straightening this front leg to rotate back to center. So I'm lowering and coming back to center. Nice and slow, nice and smooth. And I'm just going to shuffle forward so you can see the back leg. Back leg is about 45 degrees there. It's straight there. It's also straight as I come back to center there. Coming back to center, then lengthening out. Let's do a couple more. And then facing forwards. Few heart to skies, breathing in, breathing out. Moving with ease, Still working, still challenging yourself, but not forcing, not pushing. Face is relaxed, breathing easy. Let's do one more heart to sky. And then bringing the feet back in. Have a little bit of a shake out. And actually, let's finish off with a little bit of shaking. So we're going to do washing machine. So washing machine is where you're just tapping the heels into the ground. So you're doing alternate, one down, one up, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, down, really quickly. And you can feel that. See if you can feel that moving all the way through the body. And then shaking out the shoulders, shaking out the wrists, really freeing up the shoulders. And then just finishing off with a little bit of cleansing and clearing. So just breathing in and letting go. And breathing in, letting go. One more, breathing in, letting go. And if you want to do one more on top of that, and you want to come up onto the bubbling springs, up onto the bubbling springs, onto the ball of the foot, breathing in and letting go. And shaking out, shaking out, shaking out, shaking out. Just stand for a moment, just let the heart rate settle. Excellent, and we will finish there. Thank you very, very much. Hope you enjoyed that session. Hope it's woken you up for the day, got you set up for the day. As always, if there's any questions, please do not hesitate to get in contact with me. And if there's anything you want to cover or go over in these sessions, then just give me a message as well, and we'll incorporate that into the sessions. Mondays are always a little bit more focused on breath and movement. And then Wednesdays are always focused at just that little bit more on movement, but obviously combining the two together. Have a great rest of the day. Thanks for joining, and I'll see you next week. Take care. Bye-bye. Bye.